Hello guys, it's D to the B, and this message is going to show up in my videos from now on. Please check if you are subscribed, because YouTube has been automatically unsubscribing people from certain channels, which this has even happened to me. My friend Alex and I were talking like 2 months ago, and he said that he was automatically unsubscribed by YouTube without him even knowing. So if you're a supporter, please check if you're still subscribed. You never know what could happen. And if you're not, and you like today's video, please subscribe and enjoy the video.
Billy, what are you playing?
Playing video games, Dad?
Why are you playing violent video games?
It's the video game you gave me, Daddy.
Wait, no I didn't. I didn't give you that game.
Here's the game you gave me, Daddy.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna sue this game. It doesn't say it's violent for children.
Literally says it on the box, Daddy.
No, it doesn't.
Hello guys, I hope you enjoyed today's skit. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that's been going on for a while, about video games causing certain problems. There are multiple people who keep putting this out, either parents or news media outlets, all of them, or just crazy people. I'm going to put my perspective into this to let you know I'm not a huge gamer, but I do play video games. Like, each background footage you're seeing right now is all games that I have played. So now, let's get into this. As I said, multiple people are after video games right now. Parents, news media outlets, and just dumb people. And they just think that games are the problem, which I'm gonna say, not really. So let me explain this. As we all know, not every video game is violent. There's a rating for everyone, as everyone knows. There's everyone, there's teen, and then there's mature. So I'm gonna explain each of these ratings. If you already know this, you can skip to this time. So there's everyone, which absolutely means this game is for anyone, where it has no swearing, it has no blood. It's completely cleaned. Usually games like this exist for like Lego, SpongeBob, and any cartoon brand, even though there are a few rare cases. Then there's teen, which is obviously for teenagers. Like, it's violent, but not too violent. There may be some swearing, but it's not violent like the third one, which we're going to get into. Then last is mature, which mature is the most violent rating. So if your kid's like 10 or something, don't give them a mature game. Because what's in mature games, 10-year-olds do not need to learn about that. So now let's go over this again. Everyone is for everyone, teens are for teens, and mature are for adults. I wanted to bring this up because apparently a lot of people don't get that anymore. They just see a game and it's like, oh yeah, my 10-year-old son would love to play this. Not thinking what it could be, and then when they find out the game is violent, they just start blaming the game. Which would be the parents' fault for not knowing the rating of the game. Not the developer's fault, the parents' fault. They're just saying this dumb crap like, oh, we need to ban all video games just for this one that I bought my son, without me even knowing, even though the rating of the game is literally on the packaging in the corner of the game. And here's why we shouldn't get rid of video games and debunk this whole terrible idea. Just because one game is bad for your children doesn't mean they all are. And then also them saying, oh, this is too violent. Which they'll do something stupid like taking all of your children's games and running them over with a lawnmower, or tying up your son's PS4 and having it on the backside of a truck, or just plain smashing the system or the internet. That's really not necessary. Like, here's something that is necessary. So I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me before I even started the channel. So as many of you know, I have a disability called autism and dyslexia. Because I didn't know any better at the time, especially since I was a kid, I got very violent sometimes. And watching some shows with very violent stuff sometimes. And did you know what my mom did to make sure that I learned what to do and what not to do? She limited me on certain shows that weren't very violent, just to teach me that lesson. Like, I wasn't able to watch anything, really. I couldn't watch Transformers, I couldn't watch Star Wars. So it was basically a long punishment until I understood. And then eventually, when I was fine, I came back to watching those franchises, and I've been fine ever since. So if you're worried about something like this, don't do something stupid like the examples I just pulled up, with the driving it in the back of the car, or smashing your internet, or running over video games with a lawnmower, including how they can also help your kids. It can exercise your kids' fingers. And for mobile games, it can strengthen your kids' strategy. Or even really little computer games can teach your kid educational stuff. So the game isn't the problem, you are. Like, if your kid starts swearing at the table, that's not the game's fault, that's your fault. And when it completely backfires on them, they're just like, oh my goodness, this game is so violent, we need to ban all video games because they put bad things in our children's minds. Which, I would just respond like, have you heard of games like Mario Kart? Or Putt Putt Travels Through Time, which is a game I have heard about. I've never played it. SpongeBob video games, Jimmy Neutron video games, pretty much every video game that has a everyone rating, which is E. E for everyone. You just keep picking video games that are M rated, like The Last of Us or Call of Duty, which has really graphic stuff and will affect your kids' minds. And there is actual proof of this. In the show Super Nanny, or at least this Super Nanny, what I can tell, there's more than one. So if you don't know who Super Nanny is or what her show's about, it's basically a nanny going into houses because their parents have told them about their kids and how they need her help. And through the show, she goes over the problems with her family and tells them how complete idiots they are. So she's basically the Gordon Ramsay of nannies. But continuing with this argument, in one of these episodes, Super Nanny went to a parent's house and they were doing violent actions from their video games. And she at one point mentions how the ratings of the video games and how they could have a big effect on your children. And the parent is just like, man, I didn't even know there was a rating. Which makes me cringe every single time when they say something like that. I'm like, man, I didn't know this was a parenting technique. Drives me nuts every single time. And unfortunately, this isn't just one type of family out of hundreds that goes like, oh, I didn't know there were ratings. They're all like this nowadays. It's very, very rare when a parent knows the ratings of video games. Like, it's rare for a batch of purple carrots. And no, I am not joking about this. Apparently purple carrots are a real thing. I was just searching things that I could have said for this line and I saw purple carrots. And apparently they're real. This is what they look like. But let's get back to the topic. It is very rare for a parent to pay attention to the ratings and know what they mean. They just go to a store like, oh yeah, this is perfect. Not thinking of anything that could go wrong from purchasing this game. With an M on it. Video games and entertainment should not be affected by bad parenting. If you did not want your kid to know about any of that stuff or be affected, you should have thought about that. And you should have learned something simple as game ratings. Isn't it kind of sad that an autistic person knows the game ratings but modern parents don't? It's just sad. I would make a better parent than these amateurs. And it's even sadder that kids know this more than parents. Sure, every kid doesn't know a game rating or that games aren't the problem of situations, because some parents teaching their kids that games are bad and that's that, and you should disrespect everyone who disagrees with you. But the kids who aren't like that know more than these parents. They know simple game ratings and what they should play and not to play, sometimes. These parents could learn from us about game ratings and what you should start with your kids on in video games and what not to start them on. It creates less problems if you teach your kids these things. If you don't, then there's going to be more problems. And that's pretty much about it. In my final conclusion, do I think video games are the problem? No, I do not. As I said before, it's not the video game's fault, it's the parents. Just saying. And if they can't even figure out what is a good game for their kids, then that's on them. We just need to stop blaming problems on entertainment, because it's not the entertainment's fault, it's the parents' fault. Sorry if I'm being a bit repetitive, but it is the fact. I hope you guys liked today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you liked today's video. And comment your perspective on it. Have a nice day, guys.